Okay. In the last session, what we have done, we saw that how to implement limit, offset, and then logical operators like, contains, and then distinct keywords. We saw that. So remaining things. So we will finish it today. The basic things. Okay. And we saw that group by also, right? So when we are going to use group by, so if you want to like calculate anything related to group, so any specific group related things, so for example department wise salary or department wise, so sum of salary, maximum salary, right, minimum salary. So when you can, for example, let's say in a classroom, if you want to see who is the who is having maximum marks in specific subject, that is nothing but a group, right? In a group of records, so you need to find out the maximum or minimum. But one condition what we need to remember when you are doing group by, so this is, so group by when you are doing, so we have to use whatever the columns we are going to implement in group by, so we have to give that particular columns in select statement also, right? Then only we can do that in a, so then only group by statement will work. Otherwise what will happen, it will throw error, right? Okay, so now let's see, so what it mean by order by. Order by, now order by means, so for example, if you check the data in generally in any table, then how the data looks like. Let's say without order, if you run here, this is the orders data. This is statement. Okay, this is also group by example. Order by we will come to the later. If you observe the data in this particular table, the schema is one SF1. Observe this. We can able to see the data, right? Here in this particular thing, so our requirement is, so what exactly we have to do is, here we are going to implement group by priority, order priority. So here order priority, we need to get the count as well as total price. Total price, if you observe order by priority column here, let's pick the specific order by priority based on this particular column. If you check, so see this one, order by, so low priority, medium, high priority, not specified, right? All this option is there, right? So we need to understand, so how many number of low priorities we have, how many urgent priorities we have, so how many medium priorities we have. So we need to understand this. So this is written but nothing but, so all group by we have to consider. So group by means for all, so medium priority, low priority, so we have to pick the information from this particular orders table based on priority column. So what we have to do, we have to implement a group by, right? So let's say if you want to see how many distinct records in this particular group, then what you will do, so you will take the specific column and then we are going to use here group by the specific column. So when you do this, what it will give, so how many unique priorities we have. So this one, 5, like urgent, high, and then so we have, so medium, and then so not specified, and then low. So these are the, so priorities we are having. But how many priorities we have with urgent, right? That information we don't have. When we are using group by, so we can include here. Now observe this, in which situation we can use. So if you run this query, this one, we are doing count of order keys as number of orders, and sum of total price as total price. Now when you run this, so we will get for that particular priority, so we can see so how many values we have. So how many, so number of orders we have. See this one, for this, these many number of orders we have based on group by. For this particular thing, so these many number of orders. So for the high priority, for this urgent priority, these many number of orders. So based on, so this specific column, so we can able to identify count of orders, right? Number of orders, sum of orders as total price. So like this, we can able to understand so how many so values so we have so for this particular thing. So otherwise, so these so details, so for example, I want to know so only like this sum of, for example, priorities. Just want to see sum of, for example, order priority. Let's pick this one, order priority. Now observe this one. It is not picking. Numeric value. Okay, it is not a sum, right? Okay, so we, so this order priority is a, so not a value. So let me give count. Oh, see this one, count of order priority. So this what we are getting. So for this urgent, so these many number of values we have. For this low, these many number of values we have, right? So for this type of like information, if you want to identify from the table, we can use group by information. So group by, so all the high priority is one group, all the urgent priority is one group, all the medium priority is one group, right? So based on that, if you want to go any information, so we can go for group by options. Okay, so let's come to this another one. No, so we don't require. Okay, we can change this schema name. So when you are implementing, then we can so execute it here. So that is related to group by. Coming to order by. Order by means when you have a data in our table. So generally when you are running, it will not be in any order. So it will give you the information. So from, so starting to ending, so total how many records we have there. So these many records. So we have available in this particular table. So here it is showing the count. And one more thing, just observe in Snowflake. So here when you are running each and every query, it will display the time. It will display the time, how much time it has executed, how much within the, how much time it displayed the result, 42 milliseconds. And at the same time, you can see this compute warehouse is utilizing. This one we will discuss in the so later sessions, what it mean by that, what is the purpose of this time, how it is related to this particular thing. This one is turned into green. If you don't use this, it means if you are idle in this particular worksheet, after 10 minutes, this one will turn off. It means it will not be in green. Again, when you execute any query, then again it will come to the green. Okay, just observe. So when we are executing, so any queries later. Okay, so now when you are running, so it has given some information. Now we need to see, we can see order keys. So this is not in a order, right? The specific order, if you want to take, like ascending order or descending order, so you can able to use order by. We can use order by. So now just observe this. This one, I pick these things. So this one. So from this particular table, so
No.
we are picking. So what we are exactly picking here? Yes, any questions here?
Yes, sir. Actually,
Yes, and
you
that
are
tell me.
yeah, you are showing in the class
Mm,
database, right?
correct.
Which is all we need to create it, or
No,
it's already been.
no. So we are not showing these things in a class database. It's connected to class, but we are executing these orders table in this particular schema in this particular database. See this one, sample
Yeah.
Snowflake
Okay. Okay.
sample database. Now always it will, when you give the complete address, right? So whatever we are giving here, it will point out to here. Suppose
Okay.
when you execute this, it is executing, right? If you
Yeah,
want
okay.
to, for example, if you don't want to give this, just we want to give with the table name, just observe what is happening. See this one, when I try to give like this, what will happen is
Says error. Okay.
it is not exist. Then what you have to do is you need to connect it to this particular database and then this particular schema. For that, what you have to do is this one, SF1, right? Come here, click on this, set as a context. Now observe what will happen here. Now click on this, set as a context. It
Okay.
means
It will
you
change.
selected database here, schema here. Instead of selecting manually, so it's selected. So by using this shortcut, set as a context. Now when you run this one, see this. Now when you run this, you can able to get the data, right? So instead of like doing this, so directly from any database, you are in other database, but you need to point out to this particular specific database. Then we have to give the complete address like this. Okay, that's why
Oh,
we are giving the complete
okay.
address. It's clear,
Okay.
right? Okay.
Yeah, I can understand that. And in our worksheets, if we log
Mm.
in, we don't see the class one. We only see Snowflake and
Correct,
Snowflake
correct.
sample data. Okay.
This one we have created. Later I will show you how to
Okay, sir.
create this particular database also. Okay, so
Okay.
we'll go one
Mhm.
by one. How
Thank
to
you.
create
Thank
a
you, sir.
database, how to create a tables, all those things we will discuss. Okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
fine. So now, if you observe this particular thing, so when you are giving, so it is giving the details. Now we have a order priority here, right? So we have order priority. If I give order priority only on the specific columns, only on specific column, just observe how it is going to display. Now, without order, I am executing the data in the table. See this one. So this is the order, right? Without order. Now, when we are executing order by that specific column, see this. What happened? Order by means, see this, all the particular one it is displaying first, right? All ones it is displaying first. Now at the same time, so when you give this, so here we have another column, so order key, this is so not in a order, 62517687. See this one, 28635, I think it is in a order. Okay, customer key, observe the customer key. This one, if you want any specific order, if you want any specific order here, now just observe the, pick the customer key, give that customer key here. So customer key from table, so order by customer key, just a minute, copy, double click, just double click if you want to pick any information, if you want to select anything from the worksheet. Now I'm not giving descending, I will tell you. So why? So generally, if you don't give any specific order like descending or ascending, just when you are giving customer key, so order by the specific column without any, it will always, it will be in a ascending order. See this one, the customer key here. So what we can see here in the customer key, so last, so we can able to see it is ascending order. It started with a one, right? Customer key started with one, and then it is going to so end with some other values. Okay, how many number of customers keys we have, it is going to display all the customer keys in a order, to see that in a order. Now I don't want to see that in a order, I want to see what is the so in a descending order, in descending order. Then what you can do from the same table, observe this, just include descending here. Now see this one. What is the max customer key here? So 149999, right? These many number of customers. So keys we have, but so we have some duplicate values also. It's not a unique values, right? So these many number of customers keys we have in this table. So whenever you want, so any specific column, if you want to go for order by, it can be a ascending order or it can be a descending order, then we have to implement like this. So that is the so main intention behind. So when we are using order by, okay. So here if you observe, so order by priority, descending, and then we are giving another column also order, two columns, order status. One is order priority. Let me pick only both the columns, then you will understand. When you give the both the columns, what will happen? So this one, order status and then order priority. So both the things, so we are in a order, right? It's displaying in a order. So order priority, then order. Now if I remove this descending, then what will happen? If we remove that descending, so here when you check, see this one, but it is displayed order priority. It is in a ascending order, right? So this is so how we can able to display. So only the thing is what we are implementing here, we have a data in a table. So how many ways so we can able to see that data in a table based on different requirements, based on different conditions, right? So if you want to see order by, if you want to see the group by, or if you want to see the data specific columns, we can use where conditions, we can use limit, all these things related to how we are picking the information from the table, right? That's it. Okay, now let's come to this one.
Yeah, I have one doubt, Dinesh here.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
If you pick any of the
Mm,
column
mm,
with a
mm,
descending order,
mm,
so we won't get any conflict if you select index numbers and other names as well.
mhm,
So
mhm,
column wise, it won't get any conflict that both
mm, mm,
columns like order
no.
number and name.
Mm.
Okay.
So it means you need to say, so here order priority and then order status. We have both the things. If I give descending here, then what about this particular column, right?
Yeah.
That is your question, right? Okay,
Yeah,
in that
that's
case, so for whatever the column we have given descending, right, that will take a priority. Based
uh,
on this particular column, it will rearrange the order for this column.
oh great.
Okay, so that is the backend how it is going to work. Here also, if you observe, see this one, we have order priority, order status. We need to understand the count and then sum. When you are doing this, what we need to do, count and sum, we need to do the group by. See this one, both the columns in the group by statement. So after that, when you display this, see this one, so we have both the columns here, right? So if you want to both the columns in descending, so any specific things, we have this information. Now we need this in a order, then observe this. So for which column we are so giving descending, based on total price, right? Based on total price. This one, total price. So for order by, order priority, total price, we are mentioning total price display in a descending order. Then order priority also, it will be based on this total price, it will be adjusted. Now observe this one. So previously we ran without this descending. Now we are going to run with descending. See this total price. So based on this total price, so descending order. So it has so rearranged this particular column. Okay, so this is how it, so we are going to display the values in a order. Okay, now let's come to, so having class. Having, why we will use is, there is a one small limitation. It's not limitation, we can rule, we can say that it's a rule. It means generally when you are using where condition, why you will use, it's a filter. Just a minute. Okay, fine. So generally, so when you are using, it will be a filter condition, right? So this one normally when we are, when we use, but when you are using group by, your where condition will not work, will not work. So this one we need to remember. When you are using group by, where condition will not work. So what we have to do is, when you are using group by, we have to use, have to use having. Having is nothing but the same way related to how we are filtering, like how we are using a where condition, where salary greater than this amount, or where department greater than this particular thing, where specific key greater than or equal to, or greater than or so less than or equal to specific value, we can use a where condition, right, directly. But when you are using group by, we cannot use where condition, where will not work. So we have to use having, we have to use having. So now let's see, so what, so how it will so work here in the backend. So when you are working with that, let me close this. Now let's observe this. If you observe the data here, what we are trying to do here, so segment value, and then account value, and so this particular schema from this particular table. So where, see this one, where we are trying to use, so account balance greater than, so this particular value. When you are using that, we are using some, we are using so some value as a account balance. This is a alias name. Instead of displaying this, if I don't give this alias name, just a minute, just observe this, control X. If we don't give this alias name, then what will happen is, if you try to execute this, it will not execute, because see this one, group by, not a valid group by expression. Now we are giving comment this particular thing, and then try to execute with the group by. Observe what is happening. It will display like, so same, so like what is the like value we have given here, the same thing it will give. So I don't want to display, so with this particular thing, I want to display with the specific column, then as account balance. This is a alias name. It means for this particular calculation, what you are giving alias is, so account balance. Now when you run this, so this one, so we can able to see this account balance values. But what is the condition here is, we want to see where account balance greater than this particular specific value, greater than this particular specific value. Then so how to do that? Then what we are going to do is, see this one, group by, group by this particular market segment. Now when you observe, see this, so group by, and we are, if you try to use where condition, where, generally we will use where condition, right, if you want to get this. Now observe, see this aggregate function, right? And then so cannot use it be in a where class, right? Where is not going to work. in any aggregated functions like group by functions, right? It is telling that. Then what is the solution for this? We cannot use this. Then how to get? So I want to see, I don't want to see all these values. I want to see the greater than the specific value only. Okay, then so how to do that? So then what you can do is we can use having condition. Now observe this one, having to having. This is the purpose of having here. Now see this one. So actual value, market segment, that is the column, sum of the values. This is the alias name from this particular table, and then group by this particular column having account balance greater than this. Instead of where, what we are using, what is the sequence? We have to use after the group by, so we have to use a having. Now when you observe, run this, see this one, you can able to see the values. So whose value, some value is greater than account balance, that particular value, right? So now it is working. So when you are using where, it is not working. So when you are using having, so it is working. Suppose, let's say, so if I use this here, what will happen? After the group by, let's assume that we are using where condition. It should be in a sequence. Group by, observe this. If you use in a sequence also, it will tell the where condition will not work, right? What you have to use when you are using group by, always we have to use having only. Always we have to use having. So this is the one thing. So what we need to remember. So when you are not using group by, what you can do is we can use so our so conditions in a where what you will do. So where, so we will use, for example, so let's observe this one. So when you want to see the average, F001. So we are getting the values from this particular table. Just a minute. This is our so column name, and then sum of actual values, same thing. So from this particular table, group by market segment, and then having condition, observe this one. So select average account salary. Again, we are giving this one, we will discuss that. So what it mean by that? Here, what you are trying to do is we are giving again two queries here. So we can use like this also. So when you want to get this information, again from this, so we need to know, so who's like only the sum of actual balance as actual balance. But when you are doing that, it has to be so less than, so this particular actual balance, less than actual balance based on market segment, based on this group by market segment. Average balance of these specific values. Now if you observe, what will be the average values? This is the sum of the values on this particular thing. It will calculate a average, and then so who is account balance is, which market segment is less than the average balance. So that is the meaning of this. So let's say, for example, if you run only this particular thing, so as average balance, now observe this one. When you run this, what we are going to get the result. See this one. So these are the values, right? So less than this particular value, we are selecting the value, and then we are going to so give the values based on this particular condition. It is going to check, and then it is going to display, see this one. So this is the, so less than the average values These are the three values. So we are getting, so not the five values. So when you want to give like a group by, after that having related to any specific conditions, so we can use having. So when we are using group by instead of where condition. So let's say, okay, this is some like a kind of a sub queries. So we will discuss in the so next things. Okay, now coming to joins. Okay, so before going to the joins, so we'll discuss some other things. We have generally DDL and then DML. These are the main things. What exactly DDL? We used to call data definition language. When you are running some queries, right? Based on what that query is going to do, based on that we have divided that into so different names: data definition language, data manipulation language, data manipulation language, and DRL, data retrieval language, and uh, transaction language, transaction control, like commit and rollback. So those are the so transaction languages. Now coming to DDL, data definition, when you are doing create and alter and then drop, we will call this as a data definition language. What it mean by that? We'll see that. Suppose let's take any specific, okay, we will take our Excel example. For example, let me open one Excel file. Definition language means, always remember, it is going to impact on structure of the table, structure of the table. When you are performing any command, so then if it is impacting on structure of the table, then we will call it as a data definition language. It can be create, or it can be alter, or it can be a drop. Suppose if you observe here, let's take this particular worksheet. We want to create a table structure. Now this is a empty space, right? We want to create a table structure. Now here what we are going to do is, so let's say for example, this is our particular table structure we are trying to create. Now observe this particular look space we have given to, for the specific table we are creating a structure. It means, for example, when I am creating a table, employee ID, employee name, and then observe this, employee salary, and then employee location, and then employee designation. Okay, now so what we have done here, see this, so we created a column names, right? When we created column names, this is nothing but creating a structure of the table. When you are doing this, when you are creating a new table, then we are going to call it as a DDL command. It is impacting on structure of the table. See this, we are creating a new structure. The same way, if you create any table here, you will see that when you create any table here, for example, in our class database, so we have some so dummy tables we have created, right? So if you want to create a table, this table in the last session we have created, all right? When you create a table, you will have a table structure. Before that, it is not available here. Now observe this, ID and the name we have created. When you are creating, this is like impacting on the structure of the table. New table is created. Then this one is DDL commands. It means, so it's impacted, it created a new table and then structure is available. Alter means, for example, so we have, so how many columns we have? Totally 5 columns, right? I don't want this particular designation. What I am doing, observe this. Okay, previously this is the values. Now when you are modifying, when you are altering, what what will happen is I'm going to delete this particular row. Now what happened? Previously we have 5 columns. Now how many we have? Only 4 columns, right? What happened? Structure has been modified, right? Structure has been modified, right? See this 5 columns. Here we have four columns only. So this one we will call it as the when the structure is modifying, this is alter. When you are alter, so not only so removing the columns, if you add 2 more columns or 3 more columns to the original structure also, that is alter. That is also alter. When you are doing the alter also, then that is also, so it is a data definition language. Create, alter. Suppose now this is the structure. Now, so I am removing this particular structure from the database. Now let's assume this particular Excel is your so particular specific schema. So inside this particular database, when you created a table, it has occupied some space, right? Now I am going to remove these particular structures, right? This is nothing but when you are removing completely. Suppose let's assume that I am removing this completely, delete. This is nothing but a drop. Now it's a whatever thing it has been occupied previously, it is gone. It's emptied that particular location. It emptied that particular space which it has been occupied, right? That is nothing but a drop. You can create a table, you can drop a table, you can alter a table. When you are doing that, it is going to impact on structure of the table. Then we will call these things as DDL commands, data definition languages. When you are implementing, create, alter, drop. Now coming to another thing. So data manipulation language. Manipulation means, so when we are doing something on the table, already the table is available. Suppose it means, suppose let me insert some values here. Now we have a table, right? So I will give so 101, and then pick the values here. Okay, it is taking 0 to. Now observe this. These are the employee IDs and the names. I will give some values I am giving. Right, these are the names. Let's assume that, and then we will pick very less, and then salaries. Now let's assume we have some salaries here. Okay, let it be. Some values we have, and then location. So I will give some location, for example. Okay, designation I can give anything. Let it be. Okay, I will remove this instead of this. Okay, now we have this is the values. This is already the structure is available in our database. Suppose if you check the data for this particular any specific table, what you can see, you can able to see the data values, right? The same way we can see the values. Suppose if it is a empty table, previously it is a empty table, right? Before this is a empty table. If I observe previously, see this one, before this is a empty table, right? So we don't have any information here. Now what we have done, right? So what we have done is, so we have inserted, sorry, it's gone, I think. You will type ID employees array. Let me take this. So we have two columns, and so we are going to insert some values. Let's take this particular is a structure of that our table, and what I am going to do is ID I am inserting 101, 102, then 103. So what is happening here? I'm inserting some values. Employee salary. I'm inserting some values here, right? So we are going to insert some value. When I am inserting some value, this one is nothing but insert operation. When I am inserting, before inserting, we don't have anything. It is a empty space. Just a table structure is available, but we don't have any data inside the table, right? That is when you are inserting, when it is inserting the values, insert, insert, update, and then delete. These are data manipulation languages. These manipulation languages, when you are doing insert, update, delete, it is going to impact on data in a table, data in table, right? It is not going to impact on the structure. It is going to impact on the data when you are performing insert, update, delete. Now observe this, what we are doing here. We have a employee ID, we have employee salary. When you are inserting, we are inserting some values here. That is nothing but so data manipulation language. Now we have inserted, but I don't want this particular record later, right? If I remove this, that is nothing but a delete. Delete also where it is impacting, it is impacting on a data. I want to delete any specific record, specific row, that is delete. And update, suppose this employee ID or this employee salary, I want to update. So instead of this, I want to update with these values. Then this is nothing but a update. When you are doing insert, when you are so deleting some record, when you are updating something, it is not going to impact on the structure. It is going to impact on data inside the table, right? Then we will call that as a insert, update, delete. Insert, update, delete. If anyone asks in interview, so you have to so explain this. So what is DDL, what is DML? Okay, so most of the guys we will implement this, but so we will not so know what exactly we are doing. So whether it is a DDL command or it is a DML command, just try to remember like this. Data definition language, it is going to impact on structure like create, alter, drop. Data manipulation language, insert, update, delete. Manipulation. Data retrieval language means nothing but select. We are retrieve means nothing but we are picking some information, right? It is called as a select. When you are using, most of the time what you are doing when you are running any query, every time we are using a select, right? That is nothing but a retrieval. Select is nothing but retrieval. Transaction language, nothing but commit and rollback. Commit and then rollback. Used to call this as a transaction languages. It means commit, rollback. Commit and rollback means nothing but save. Commit is nothing but a save. Rollback is nothing but undo. Rollback is nothing but undo. It means so when you are using, but in Snowflake, remember one thing, Snowflake is auto commit. It's a auto commit. It means so when we are doing something, when we are inserting some values, we'll see that later. Suppose here I'm trying to insert some values. So we created a table here. See this. So when we are creating a table structure, so that table will be created. So when we need to create this, let me show you here. Let's connect it to our class database. If you want to connect it to this class database and public, set as a context. Now it's connected to class and public. Now here instead of a, I will give new table, new. Just I will give new. Okay, insert into new. Observe this. We don't have any table structure, right? Now when we are creating, this is a create. See this? This is create. When you are creating, the table new structure will be created. Table new. Okay. We are creating a table. Create table, table name, column names, data type. Now observe this. Table created. New table created. Previously it is not available. Now we have a structure, right? In this particular structure, we don't have any records. Now if you observe preview data, we don't have any records. See this empty structure is available. Now when you are inserting, so we can insert the data. Before that, okay. So here Snowflake is auto commit. It means automatically it is going to save. We don't want, if you don't want auto commit, what you can do is you have to implement the transactions in begin. Begin. Begin means, so it will, so normally after begin execution, whatever you are going to execute is, that will not be committed. So until you give commit statement, until you give commit statement. So and so we have, just a minute, rollback. Rollback. Okay, let's see this. Suppose we executed begin. Now what we are trying to do is we are trying to insert values into this particular table. So this insert into table name, this particular table, values for column names. What are the columns we have here? If you click on this, it will show you ID name. ID for we are inserting one, and then name we are inserting this. Now when you are inserting, observe this one, we have inserted the data, right? Now if you check how many values we have, see this one, we have 5 values. Now, so we don't want these values to be saved. So I want to insert some other thing. Then click on rollback. Now observe this, rollback done. Now if you refresh it here, and then if you check how many records we have, see this one, nothing. What happened here? It is not saved. Before save, you can roll back. It means nothing but commit. If you want to implement this kind of thing in Snowflake, so we have to use begin statement before. So if you don't want to save, if you want a confirmation, or so if you want to roll back, then we have to use a begin. Every worksheet when you are, suppose, so when you are starting a day, so you want to execute something, so you don't want to auto commit, then so first thing what you will do is you will execute a begin statement. When you have a begin statement, then you can use rollback. Without using begin statement, if you use so rollback, it will not work, because that one will be auto committed. Auto committed. So here previously we have some values inserted into this particular table. So EA table, right? See this, those particular values still you can able to see, right? Because it's auto committed. Even though when you use rollback also, it is not coming back. It is not coming to the original thing. Now observe this. So now again we are inserting the values. Now once it is committed, what will happen? Now we are going to commit. Commit means nothing but a save. Commit. Now refresh it and then check the values here. Come to this particular table, new table, preview data. You can see the values. Now I am executing rollback. Observe this. I have executed rollback. Statement executed successfully. Now again, refresh it and then check the data here. Still the values is available. It means you have, like in a, when you are working with your Word, you will have save and undo options, right? When you use Control Z, it will be undo. Once it is saved, once the document is saved, you cannot able to go to undo. The same way here, So once it is committed, you cannot able to go roll back. Roll back when you can go before the commit. Now remember the sequence will be, if you use begin, begin, then so you have to use, if you want to use a rollback, you have to use rollback. So then you have to commit. So once it is committed, the rollback will not happen. Okay, so these things should be, so rollback should be in between begin and commit, begin and commit. So after commit, if you use a rollback, it is not going to work. It will not work. So that is a, so main intention behind commit and rollback. That is a nothing but a transactional statements. We used to call it as a transactional. So statements like commit and then rollback. Commit is nothing but a save. Rollback is nothing but undo statement. Okay, so these are the so frequently used so things when we are working with so our so SQL. Now coming to, so coming back to this one, so here we have joins. Here we have joins. So this one, so this we saw that insert update. Let's finish this. Joins we will cover later. So I will tell you the brief idea of the joins, why we required a join. Coming to this particular thing. Okay. So insert, update, delete. So we have, so for example, when you are inserting some values into the table, when you are inserting some data into the, for example, here we are trying to create two tables. We will create two tables here. Already we have a table A here. See this, already the table is available. If I try to use create or replace, what is the purpose of replace? Now you will understand. See this one, create table. Without replace, I am using create table in which database? Same class database, right? And then same public schema, we are doing that. Same public schema we are doing. When you are doing this one, create a table, table name, column names and data type. So what you need to do? Create table, table name. This is the column name, data type, column name, data type. Now I don't want to run this by using this SQL statement. Now observe this, already the table is available. When you do this, what will happen? It is telling that table already exists. If you use create or replace here, now observe what it is going to do. It is going to drop the previous table structure. On place of that, it will recreate the another same table. See this, creator, it will replace the same thing, create or replace. Now what happened here? Table created successfully, table created successfully, right? Now it's a empty table. If you observe, previously we have values, now we don't have values. This is the way how you are creating a table now, but it's in this Snowflake, right? So we have, for all the options, we have a shortcuts. How to create a database, how to create a table structure very easily without this one. Now observe this, come to the database, observe this carefully what we are doing here. If you want to create new database, come to the database icon and click on create database. Here, just give, if you want, for example, I want to create a new database here. Create a new, right? New underscore DB. Click on finish. When you click on finish, database will be created for us by using user interface options. How this will work here? You need to write a SQL statement to create a database. When you give the selection, when you click on finish, this table will be created. So what will happen in backend is, if you click on show SQL, observe this one, what you can see, create database, database name. Our Snowflake has written a statement for this. And when you click on finish, that statement will be executed and then database will be created. See this, now the database is created. Everything whatever we are going to do, everything we are going to do it in a database. When you click on database, see this, what a database created. I clicked on the database. If you want to create a table, see this one, click on table, create, and then what will be the table name? If you based on your column names and data types, for example, I want to create a table here, emp, table name is emp. It is asking table name is emp. By default it will be in a public schema. Then if you want to give the comments for the table, you can give. So it means when you see that, you will understand why you have created this table. This is optional. Then columns, how many columns you need to create? Let's say we want to create employee id and then employee name again. So we need, suppose, employee location. We have given all the three columns, and then data types. ID is number, right? It will be a integer. So if it is at, so we have some different data types based on the data we are going to select. If it is a timestamp, we will select timestamp. If you want the specific number and then precision, we will use this. So if you want more values, so like string or varchar, we can use number, and then with the mixed of like a number and string, we will use varchar. If it is completely a date format, we will use this one, right? Variant is a semi-structured data. Going forward, we will discuss that. So based on our requirement, we are going to select the data type for that particular column. So employee ID should be an integer. Remaining things, name and then location, it will be a string, right? Now observe this. We have given selections, and then when you click on finish, the table will be created. Observe what will happen. When you click on show SQL, this query created by Snowflake. Create table, table name in this particular database. In this particular schema, we are going to create a table by using these columns and data types. Employee ID is a integer column, employee name is a string column, and then employee location is a string, right? Now observe this. When I click on finish, table is created. Now if you want to see that, come to the worksheet, refresh it here. See this one. We have a new database called new DB, and then within this new DB, so in the public schema, you can able to see the table structure, right? This is another way by using a UI options, how we can able to create a database, how we can able to create a table, right? But here what you are doing when you want to create, if you want to create a database here, create database name you have to give. Now when you want to create a table, create table, table name, and then column names, right? So directly we are giving. So we have both the options. Now, so when
Dinesh,
you, yes,
yeah, this is Sambasiva. Quick question.
yes.
So, yeah, there is any command line options also, like a normally
Command line
in
options also is there. So we will, I will show you when you have to go to the command line.
that is one thing.
99% of the time. Mm,
Another question. In the create
mm.
database, there is any advanced options? You can put the number of data files or storage and other things also. No.
No, it is unlimited. So when you created a table structure, so it
Yeah,
will not restricted to any table like a space. Okay, so we
table
can
space.
so load n number of data. At the same time, database also there is no restriction. So we can load n
So
number
that
of
means
tables.
just create database only. That's all.
Correct. That's it.
No extra any
Just
advanced options. Nothing.
nothing. When you
Okay,
create
being
a
a student,
database,
yeah, being a
exactly.
this is in the cloud. That's why there is no limitation.
Exactly, because this is completely cloud, right? So we don't have any limitation. Automatically, it is going to adjust. So
Okay,
based on what you are inserting, and if you
okay,
observe databases, okay, so little advanced guys, don't worry about this. Anyway, we are going to discuss all these things. See this one. Not only the table in the database, you can create a views, you can create schemas, stages, file formats, sequences, pipes, all these things one by one we will discuss. So coming forward. Okay, so going forward. Now, so what we have done, just we created a database by using these shortcuts, and not only like creating, we can clone, we can drop, and then we can transfer ownership. All these things also we can able to perform. Okay, and but so there is no limitation. So when you are creating any database or any table here, now, so let's come to this. So here what we have done, we created a table, right? And the same time, so if you want to insert the data into the table, so what we are going to do, so let's see. So we are going to execute insert into the values. This is a DDL, sorry, DML commands. We are inserting some values into the table, right? Now let's observe this one. So if you want to insert, so what we have to do, insert into column values. For inserting values also, in our Snowflake we have a shortcut that we will discuss in the next sessions. So if you observe, let me show you where that option is. If you go to the database, if you go to the table, see this one, load the table. This is a shortcut. This is a UI option to load the data into the table. We will use this load table option. We will give the which file we need to load, what is the file format, these things. So based on this, it will load the data. But if you want to load the data by using SQL, so see this one, this is the command, insert into table name values. We are inserting the values. So multiple columns we are inserting, around 4 columns we are insert into values. Now when you inserted the data, you can have this, so values here. Now observe this in this here. So it's, we have so we are not executing this in a, so like a begin and then statement, right? It is committed. So you can, so it's a auto commit, it's a auto commit. If you see that, so these, so transactions will be committed by default. You can able to see the values, right? Okay, this is nothing but insert. So now for example, if you want to delete any records from this table, now what you can see here, we can see some IDs, right? If I want to delete some IDs, what we can use is delete from, what is the table name? Table name is delete from table, delete from table. And what we will give when you want to specific filter, what is the condition? We will use where, right? Delete from table where. So what is the specific condition? ID equal to 5. I want to delete this particular record. Then we can use like this delete statement. This is a delete statement. Now observe this one. This has been deleted. Now if you check the records, refresh it here, and then come to this one, and then preview data. See this one. These 3 records are, so only 3 records is available. That ID5 has been deleted. ID5 is deleted. Now I want to update this particular any specific name or any specific ID. So for example, so here, so I have, so Aman. So this one I want to update with, so Jack, so or John, whatever it may be. So then what we have to do is we have to give update statement. What it is doing, these are DML operations, data manipulation language. It is not going to impact on structure. Structure means ID and name, right? It is impacting on data inside the table. These are so manipulation languages. Now, for example, see this update. What is the table name? Table name. This is the command update table name, and then set what you need to update name equal to, for example, will give John, where where for which one we have to update, where ID equal to 1. Wherever you have ID equal to 1, so for that particular name updated with John. Observe this, update table set. So this is set means set this particular name John to this particular thing in simple way. Now observe this, update. Now one record updated. Once it is updated, if you check the data in the table or select star from, we can use select star from table. Table is CA. Now observe this one. It has updated with this particular value. Insert, updates, deletes, all these operations we can perform in the any specific table. These are, we will call it as a DMLs, data manipulation language. When you are creating, when you are dropping, suppose we created a new table. Come to this. If you want to drop, you can use simple statement, drop statement. Or if you come here to the database, and then this particular new database, I want to drop this table. Select that table. Observe this drop option. When I drop, table is gone. Table is gone now. If you come to worksheet and then refresh it here in this particular new, where is that? In this particular new database, see this one, the table is not available. Table is not available, right? So table, whatever the table we created here, it is same way. I don't want to this database also. You can come here, database, select the new. So you can click on drop. When you click on drop, see the statement. What is the statement? It is going to execute it here. Drop database name. So this is a database, right? Drop database, database. So you want to execute it, then you can execute this in a worksheet, or you can directly click on this option, then it will be dropped. Now if you come here worksheet, refresh it, the database whatever we have created, it has been dropped, right? So these are all the options what we can able to perform. And what we will do is we will stop it here. In the next session, we are going to discuss about joins. That is very important topic. We will see. So what is the purpose of joins? If you want to get the two tables data, if you want to merge two tables data, and then if you want to see the result, then always we will come to the joins. We will see that what is join exactly, left outer, right outer, and then full outer joins. We will discuss this. Once this is done, then we will jump into our actual the Snowflake sessions. Okay, so I'm requesting everyone to please practice. For I received all your email IDs in the uh, WhatsApp group. I will create for all the email IDs. So I'm trying to create a shared folder for the class. I will update these all the scripts there. Okay, otherwise today what I will do is, so whoever is already send the email address, right, for everyone. So I will create a list and then I will send all these particular scripts whatever we have discussed, right? So those scripts I will send it to you guys, so you can use those scripts for your practice purpose, the same thing along with the recorded session. And one more thing, every day we are sending the recorded session in the um, group, right? So please download these recorded sessions and keep it in your local. Okay, if something happens to that particular a Zoom account, then it will be available in your local system, right?
Dinesh, quick
So
question.
yeah, yes,
So that DML, so you are saying
mm,
auto commit. So
correct,
normally multiple other databases, which are the very
mm,
large and the
correct,
regular databases.
mm, mm,
So the legacy databases, they have always
mm,
you need to use a commit. Here it is not needed.
correct. It is not required.
The
It
auto
is
commit.
auto commit. So if you want to, if you don't want auto commit, what is our best practices is, when you are date starting, always we will go with begin statement by default. Blindly we will execute begin. Begin first we will execute, because we don't want anything auto commit. Then we will execute our statements. If we are confirmed, okay, this update statement need to be so committed, need to be saved. Then
So that
after, for
means if
example,
you use
yeah,
that begin in the end of
mm,
the whatever insert and update and delete, you need to use the commit statement. Okay.
you need to
Okay.
use a commit statement.
Yeah.
This is
That is
the
very
thing.
important.
After that we have to use commit. In between, we can, before the commit, what you can do is, as discussed, so we can use
Oh,
rollback
rollback also.
statement.
Okay.
Rollback. So this is the syntax we
But
discussed, right?
is it a best
Begin,
practice or not?
rollback. This is the best practice. Always we have to do this.
Okay.
When you are doing something, so without using begin, if you implement anything, what will happen? By default, automatically it will be saved.
So that means
Again, if you
production
want to
systems
recreate,
always better to use
mm,
this, correct? In general.
exactly.
Yeah.
Always we will go with this practice.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from anyone? See it in chat
Yeah.
window.
Thank you, Dinesh. Yeah, I think there's no questions. We can conclude now.
I don't see. Okay, I can see one question from Sandhya. I don't see class data warehouse. Yeah. So we need to create it, Sandhya. For example, so how we have created here, go to the database. So it will be when you created a trial account, right? By default, everyone will get this Snowflake sample database. Here in the worksheet, you can see two databases. One is Snowflake, another one is Snowflake sample data. These two things by default, it will be available in every one account. If you want to create another database, this is our practice purpose, I created it. What you can do is you can go to the database, you can click on create option, then you can give the name as a class. Then this one will be available in your account. Okay, the same way what we have done the new, right? So the same way. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
any other questions from anyone? Okay, yes, thank you. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, Dinesh.
Bye.
Yeah. Back to
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.